zu. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So today will be like a chill video. I'm just vlogging a little bit and having a little bit of conversation. I did vlog a video right before this, but I realized that my mic wasn't plugged in, so it's just a lot of me rapping but no sound. So yeah, so today's video would just be about setting healthy boundaries and my journey with that, and really how I've been doing for the first 4 to 5 months in Miami. So yeah, we can just get right into the video because I'm actually on my lunch break at work. So yeah, let me close this just in case any important information pop up. But so yeah, so what I've learned that since being here, that I had a lot of work to do on myself, and a lot of people that I was in connection with, not to say that they're bad people, but that they're not as woke as they seem to be, and also need to do work on themselves. So yeah, we can just hop into the video, and if you have any comments, please feel free to drop it because I'm definitely ready for a discussion. So since getting my surgery, it was more than a external change. You know, I decided to do a lot of inside work because you can have like a banging body, right? But then your inside can be all nasty and nobody likes you. You don't have any real connections with people, and you're just as miserable as you were before you got the surgery, because until you start changing what's inside here, you're still gonna be miserable. Nothing of this world can make you happy. You have to do some internal fixing. So yeah, ever since being here, I've been doing inventory on myself, auditing friendships, relationships, family members, my relationships with my family members, and just figuring out the roots of my problems. And you know, I definitely was a common denominator in all across the board because I lack boundaries and self-respect. I'll get into it as far as exactly what my boundaries were or are now that I've actually got me some. But yeah, so my main takeaway point from this video is, until you get some boundaries, you won't really be happy. Like, you won't really be happy. And I probably repeat this throughout this video, but if you do not create boundaries, people will create boundaries for you. If you do not create boundaries, people will create boundaries. People will set that boundary for you. And you know, you give somebody an inch, they will take a mile. So yeah, we can just hop right into this video, and I really pray that this time it will record because I'm so upset. So yeah, before I get into the whole boundary thing, I just wanted to talk a little bit about Miami. It's been amazing actually, just for my first time in my life, just being away from my hometown and really seeing life for what it is, because you know, it's what you make of it. You know, no matter where you go, you cannot run away from you can't move away from your problems, especially if you're the common denominator. Like, that's not how it works. Change of environment does help. It does help put things in perspective, because you cannot heal in the same environment where you got sick in. So where all your traumas are and everything that happened bad to you and everything that you victimized yourself in, you really cannot heal in the same environment where they had you effed up at. Like, it's just not gonna pan out well for you. You have to move away from the situation, look at it from an external lens. Like, you have to step back and just be like, okay, so where do I go wrong at? Now, one place where I went wrong at, where I noticed, is victimizing myself. Like, because you know, you're not really at fault for what you were born into, the situations that you were placed in before you could even form a professional thought. Like, you're not really responsible for that, but you are responsible for getting back on your feet or getting on your feet. You're responsible for how your life ends. You're responsible for the things that you decide to do daily to create the future that you want. That is what you're responsible for. Even if you grew up in the projects or whatever, you are responsible for elevating yourself. And I know not everyone has the same type of resources or you know, schedules or responsibilities as the next person, but again, like, it is your responsibility, regardless, to seek help. It's your responsibility to seek resources. And yeah, that's what I've been doing, honestly, trying to get out of the victimizing, state, just trying to not take control, because you really can't really control the narrative of your life. So I hope that I'm not contradicting myself. You can't like control exactly what happens to you, but you can definitely put the work in, because either you can sit there and let life happen and happen how it's going to happen, or you can start doing positive things, like having discipline. You can start doing things like that, creating a plan for what you want. If you have a plan and you make that clear, you write the vision and you make it plain. You do that, you can have anything that you want, anything. So I really only got into that mindset this year, when I realized that I could have anything that I want. School did nothing for me. College did nothing for me, because it was not what I really wanted. I just did it to appease my parents. They told me that that was the way to a successful life. You go to college, you get the diplomas and all that stuff, you get a good job, and you'll be set for life, stuff like that. But really, that's just a folklore that they tell children in order to push them out into society, out into mountains and mountains of debt, and just they teach you to sink or swim. And a lot of people can't swim in that because they don't even have the resources to stay afloat. So, with that being said, this video is not really about that. It's just about how I set boundaries. So I don't know how much time I have left, but let's definitely get into that. And yeah, but before we get into that, I definitely want to show you guys I think it's 6 months or 7th. I think it's the 6th month still of is it the 6th month? Huh? Actually, 7th month. My 7-month update for my surgery. So yeah, let me go ahead and fix this. We'll just out the way. So yeah, this is me now. Ooh, almost fell. This is me now. It is definitely results that I was hoping for. I didn't want anything too extravagant, too Coke bottle-ish. I want to be able to grow with my body. I don't want it to outgrow me, because I'm only 24. I don't know how my body is going to change over the next couple of years, especially with unforeseeable events. So yeah, let's talk about boundaries and make this quick. Okay, so I hope this is good enough. Let me step back some. Okay, so let's talk boundaries. The first boundary I implemented this year was allowing or not allowing people to talk to me any kind of way. I felt like I was a pushover because I allowed people to talk to me. I might have been a pushover. I allowed my closest friends to talk to me any kind of way. I guess I was just trying to preserve the friendship, I wanted to hold on to friendship. So I just allowed people to express themselves any way that they wanted. And I didn't set clear boundaries, even if it affected me negatively. So like, say my friends were having a bad day and she came to me and reacted. She was just nasty. But I was supposed to take that because I'm supposed to understand that people have bad days and they can just lash out if they need to, but I'm supposed to accept that. And although I made it clear, I didn't just like stop talking to the person, or it was more than one. I didn't just stop talking to people when they did that. I would make it clear. I'll just be like, okay, so I do not like when you talk to me like that. I feel like you should readjust yourself before you come to me with anything, even if it's like a situation that has to do with me. But especially, I think I just spit. But especially if it has nothing to do with me, I want you to come to me with respect and let's talk like adults. You can explain to me what's going on or whatnot, but I'm not comfortable with you talking to me like that. And it's like, no matter what I said, maybe people don't take me seriously. It's like no matter what I said, it was just still the same results because there was no consequence behind their actions, and I'm not really a confrontational person. Usually I try to avoid confrontation, but it just wasn't working, like, because I didn't really set the boundary. Like, you can make a stand, you can set a standard, but until you act on it, that's like saying, that's like not disciplining somebody after they broke the law. Like, say if you robbed the bank, but they just said, don't do that again, let you go. You're gonna do that ish again because there's no real consequences to your actions. So I realized that with setting boundaries, there has to be consequences for people that, overstep that boundary, that disrupt it blatantly, your boundaries that you set. And it was like multiple times where I set this boundary with my close friends, even family members, not just friends. I set this boundary and they continue to, cross that because, again, I'm just cool, I'm not gonna really make it a big issue because, we're friends and I should be understanding. But no, especially after my surgery, during that time, you're the most vulnerable. After like any type of surgeries or any type of trauma, you are the most vulnerable. You want support, you want kind words. Like, I had to put that in place. I had to set that boundary. You cannot talk to me like that. Another boundary I set was, like I said before, auditing friendships, taking inventory, but I pay attention to the words people say to me, even if they're joking. So that goes along with my first boundary. Those little shady jokes that, they say that jokes are, I forgot the actual saying, but the truth is mostly in jokes. So when people make little sly comments and like, I'm just joking, they really think that about you. They really feel that way. Like, and I don't know how somebody can be negative all the time. So if you find that you have people in your life that constantly make negative, I said negative, oof, I'm over here making up my own words. You find that you have people that just have negative jokes to say about you, or they just throw shots. Like, it's really shade, sis. Like, they're not your friends, or even if they are, they don't, maybe they don't notice that they're doing it, but you got to address that, because if you speak love and happiness and light over your life, what makes you think that it's okay for somebody else to speak negatively over yours? Like, you don't even talk to yourself like that. So why would you want somebody else to talk to you like that? Why? You are negative on your own. Why would you need somebody else to talk negatively to you? And I think that concept got more serious to me after my surgery, because it's like, look, I am trying to build myself. I don't need negative conversations. If you're not speaking life into me and saying, oh my gosh, like, you're going to go so far, you got this. If it's always like something negative, I don't want to hear it. And it kind of irritated me more, because it was just like, you bring nothing to my table except negativity, like negative jokes. I'm not there in my life anymore. I don't play about, no, we speak light, love, prosperity over here. So, you just can't, sometimes people are set in their ways and you really can't do nothing for them on that front except for separate until they get their life together, or just separate. So that was the first and second boundary. The third boundary was understanding when somebody's time is up, when to separate yourself from people, and just allowing, life to do its thing. Like, you can't control the narrative of life, really. You can't really control the narrative. Sometimes people's times is up. I felt like I was holding on to people just for the simple fact is, I was stuck in the past, wanting to continue what we had, but like, really, the person that you connected with years ago, they're not that person anymore. They're on, just like you grow and change, they grow and change. You have to figure out if y'all are still compatible as people, whether it's relationships or friends. You got to see if you're still compatible with that person, or if y'all doing more harm than good. Because if that's the case, y'all can still be cool, but like, all that, being attached at the hip every day is going to do more damage than good. Now, my fourth boundary, I don't know if I said this before, but I'm going to repeat it just for the sake of me not wanting to have to redo this video. My fourth boundary, again, is knowing when to say no. You cannot do everything. You cannot do everything. You cannot do everything. You cannot be a yes ma'am, yes woman. It is okay to say no to people. It's okay to know your limits. Now, with me, I had to learn that. I had to learn that it was okay for people to be mad at you for knowing your limits. Because, for one, my problem was when someone invited me out, I felt guilty for saying no. I made a pact to myself that I wasn't going to drink and that I wasn't going to smoke. But I let people pressure me into going out, because I'm like, okay, if I don't go out with these people, whether friends or family, and I keep saying no, they're eventually going to stop inviting me out. you know, because nobody's going to keep inviting you out if you say no to going out. But again, they don't recognize your boundary because maybe you haven't set the boundary. You don't drink, you don't smoke, but you want to be at the club. Like, no. And I like to be in the bed by 11 o'clock at least. So it's like, why am I out here at the club? No, we can meet halfway if you want to go like to Starbucks, or if you want to go get your nails and your toes done, or if you want to, like, I don't know, like go shopping. Like if you want to do something like that, something constructive, or even let's go over vision boards, or you know, let's look at houses that we want to buy in the future. Like let's do something that's going to like last past tonight. I like to be intentional with everything. I'm not a club goer. I don't like to be outside really at nighttime, to be honest. I don't. So knowing when to say no to people, knowing your boundaries, knowing what you don't want to do. Like you don't have to put yourself in compromising positions just to be a friend to somebody. If they're really your friend, they're gonna understand not to even come at you with all that. If you're not the going out friend, unless it's for like an event, like say like a birthday party or like, you know, something that makes sense. Other than that, if you don't want to go out, you don't have to go out, sis. You don't. Set that boundary, set that expectation so that, you know, no hard feelings. I just do not go out. Yeah, setting that boundary. So with my third, oh, I'm on my fourth one. I don't know. What's the next one? I had it in my head. Oh, the fifth boundary that I set for myself was believing people like the first time. Like, you know how when people act out of like character, like, you know, when they're upset, or people say the truest things, the things that they've been thinking about their whole friendship or their whole life when they're upset. So just believing people the first time, just believing them when they say what they say, they meant what they said, because it came from out of the heart, out of the mouth, the heart speaks, right? Out of the mouth, the heart speaks. So just believing people the first time and moving with love. You don't have to hate anybody, but you have to know when to separate. And I think that's just gonna tie it all up. Like just believe in people, because out of the mouth the heart speaks. What's in their heart, they're gonna tell you. That's why, like, I don't know, like I don't even hate people for like lashing out at me when we're having arguments or things like that, because I want to know how you feel about me. I want to know. Like, say if we have like petty squabbles and you just choose to spaz out, like you just want to say everything that's on your mind, like, thanks sis, like this is a level, my next level, you can't come. You can't even come with me, because I don't even like that. Like, so people show you who they are when you're not doing what they need you to do, when you're not complacent in your misery, and you're not complacent in whatever they got going on. Like, people will show you exactly what you need to know. And it's your responsibility to do what you need to do with that. So yeah, that basically wraps up my little boundary video. I hope you got something from it, and if you didn't, stay tuned, because you know I got more videos coming. So if you have any requests for you know, any video ideas, you can feel free to drop it below, or you can DM me at the Kai Stone on Instagram. And if you have any questions, like my last couple of videos that has to do with surgery or University of Maryland, because I know I get a lot of questions on the University of Maryland, even though I haven't been there in God knows how long, at least 2 years, a year and a half. I can still answer your questions. I can still direct you to the right people. I know people that still go there. So yes, if you enjoyed this video, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.